To say the Joker is one of the most iconic villains ever created would be a major understatement. Over the years, the Joker has become not only Batman's #1 arch-enemy, but has pretty much become the face of villainy. He is the one constant with the Batman character. Every big-screen Batman series has had a big bad Joker. The character's even somewhat evolved past his nemesis, being included in projects outside of the Batman brand name, and sometimes even in projects without a Batman altogether. With so many adaptations, and in some cases overall recreations of the bad guy, you could see how some might get forgotten along the way. Well, today, we're going to be taking a quick look back at the most unknown versions of the villain and the forgotten actors who portrayed him over the years. There's more than you think, and they're more obscure than you could possibly imagine. In ranking all the Jokers, these ones aren't even on the lowest tier. These ones are not applicable. These are the honorable mentions in the on-screen history of the Clown Prince of Crime. You see, far too often is the Joker needed, but is for one reason or another unavailable. Sometimes these shows aren't given the rights to these characters and have to go through creative workarounds, and other times they're granted limited access to the character. In 2002, the Joker appeared on the show Birds of Prey. The show had scenes which depicted events from The Killing Joke, as well as a huge final battle between the Joker and Batman. On the show, the part was played in person by Roger Stoneburn, while fan-favorite Joker Mark Hamill once again provided the voice for the character. From a performance standpoint, not much was actually asked of the actual actor on set. The weight of this performance, of course, is carried by his iconic voice, while the actor playing the part physically was barely even shown, as the character's usually obscured by his surroundings or shot in angles that blur or otherwise disguise his face. While the Joker is pretty pivotal to the series' main plot, teased as being in part responsible for the death of the series' lead's mother, Catwoman, and shown to be responsible for paralyzing the show's second lead, Barbara Gordon, he still only appears briefly and barely in flashback scenes. Yet, as minor of an appearance as this was, it's still a lot more than a lot of other live-action Batman shows have given us with the character. The Joker appears being arrested in a news report on the show Powerless in 2017. The following year, the character would make several appearances on the show Titans. But once again, his face was always hidden. As in every instance he was shown, it was with his back facing the audience. He's shown first in a hallucination as a victim of Batman's rampage, before later on in the series becoming just that. After reenacting a death in the family and murdering the second Robin, Jason Todd, Batman takes matters into his own hands, off-screen. Again, given how big of a moment this was for the series, you'd think the Clown Prince of Crime would have had a bigger part to play in the show. Or at the very least, you'd think that they'd have somebody to play the part. They utilize the character in a way that kills off one of the series' leads and recreates one of the most iconic moments in all Batman comic book history, kickstarting the Under the Red Hood arc, and yet he's more of a plot point here than he is a person. There's no real performance, as the character's depicted as a maniacal laughing buffoon. So you have a stuntman miming the part and a sound effect that's being played over it. Joker and Batman are written off in favor of writing Red Hood in, with the show not realizing that both these characters' absence dulls down Jason's arc and in a way sort of makes it meaningless. The Joker also has a presence in the show Batwoman. While he doesn't show up at first, he's constantly referenced to as being the catalyst for a lot of the series' plot. Yes, yet again, this is a Joker who's a fixture in the narrative, but goes mostly unseen by the viewer. He's constantly mentioned, with his weapons being used in a plot surrounding a painting he once made with the blood of one of his victims. The character even goes on to birth his second coming in Marcus, Batwoman's own original Joker. Now, that may sound like an oxymoron, and, well, it kind of is, but it's also a justified statement. But we'll get into him at a later time. The Joker in Batwoman is an amalgamation of the problems of the Jokers previously mentioned. Like in Birds of Prey, the Joker's face is always obscured by blurring, or alternatively, angles that really only show off the silhouette of the character, not too dissimilar to how he's shown in Titans. Also like in Titans, it's revealed that this Batman has killed the Joker off-screen. As always, it's a major event that barely plays out in the background in favor of kickstarting a plot that is the effect of this event. History would wind up repeating itself in 2020, when a Birds of Prey movie was made, and the Joker would once again only play a bit part, essentially being played by a stand-in. Indie rocker Johnny Goth was tasked with playing the role. Or, at least appearing on camera. The character is in fact supposed to be Jared Leto's Joker, but him not having the time, and the studio not wanting to spend the money on bringing him back, chose instead to shoot the back of the head of a lookalike, in this one blink-and-you-miss-it moment. Kinda ironic that they'd end up replacing a frontman with another frontman. The Joker is referenced in the show Gotham Knights quite a bit, which shouldn't be all that surprising as one of the series' leads is the Joker's daughter. She proclaims both her love and hatred of her father figure. And while there certainly seems to be a family resemblance in terms of sanity, there's actually no family relation at all, as it's later revealed in the series that Two-Face is actually Duella's dad, with the Joker being more of an adoptive father, I guess? Jane Doe decided her daughter needed a better father figure and found it in the Joker. Although, if you watch the show Harley Quinn, you know that that's not completely outside the realm of possibility. Still, we're shown as props and even given a flashback scene to Duella's childhood of her first meeting with her pseudo-psycho father, where he reaches out of his cell and gives young Duella his calling card. The clown's never shown. You can see why these particular portrayals, if you can even call them that, can't really be compared to the criminal clown royalty that's made its way to the big and small screen. These weren't really acting gigs. They were glorified stand-in paychecks. The Joker might be present in all of these projects, but his presence is never truly felt. These shows are somehow both with and without a Joker. The character is there, but his character isn't. However, the same can't be said for this last one. Because outside of the Joker's shy attendance on several live-action shows, he was on full display in our final mention. Over the years, the Joker's appeared in a number of commercials. He had a part to play in this Zeller's toy commercial, and he's even appeared in a Six Flags ad to promote his very own roller coaster. But in all of these appearances, he was once again just reduced to maniacal laughter without any lines. One I happen to really like is the Joker's appearance in Snickers ads from the Middle East. There's at least 2 versions of this with 2 different sets of actors, though I really couldn't find any information on the actors portraying the part. Regardless, I like the look. It actually looks pretty similar to the character's appearance in Injustice. And the actor in the English-speaking promo isn't doing a bad job either. I've seen worse.
How about the Joker plays with you? Whoever draws the ace of spades wins the night out! That window.
Curtis Armstrong, who many might know either as Booger from Revenge of the Nerds or Snot from American Dad, would play the Joker in the 2000s for the OnStar commercials. These ads would see Batman try to track down his archenemies, needing the aid of OnStar to do so. It was a fun and harmless use of these characters while also showcasing the capabilities of what it was they were trying to sell. And Curtis made for a pretty good Joker, all things considered. It was certainly surprising to see this version of the villain, as he resembled the character from the comics far more than most live-action Jokers ever have, with prosthetics in place to accentuate his cheekbones and chin, and a witch-like nose. These are parts of the big bad that usually get lost in translation. They're dropped when moving between media. The character certainly looked the part, and the actor even sounded the part too. Not sounding like a replication of any Joker that's come before him necessarily, but instead just having a voice that works well with the character that he's portraying.
This is how you exterminate a bat!
If you're going for maniacal madman with a touch of camp and annoyance, this was a pretty damn good Joker. One that would probably be worthy of having a full video devoted to him, had he not played the part in a 35-second car commercial. These were the official Forgotten Jokers. But what about the official, unofficial Forgotten Jokers? So if you like this video and you want to find out what it is I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section below by leaving a comment saying,
Bravo, Joker.
I am vengeance. I am the night, and that was V Infuso. Just remember, if you're not tuning in, then you're missing out.
So, if you like the words that came out of his mouth hole, and you too would like to become a V-generate, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, nerds!
And if you're not joining the fun, you're in for one bad day. And you know what they say about having one bad day?
Catch him next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.